Hi kids. Okay, so today we're going to go over how to do a snow globe drawing and how to color it in so it looks a little three-dimensional. It has some form. And that's going to be by creating these highlights and shadowed areas so that it looks like a sphere. So I'm going to start with a bowl, and I have a bowl that, that is about this big on the paper. Excuse me. It doesn't need to be so big that it takes up your entire paper, but the fun stuff for the snow globe is going to be inside the bowl. So you want the bowl to be a decent size. And then I'm going to first trace it in pencil. Now I do ultimately have to trace it in marker, and I'm going to trace it in Sharpie. So I don't think you should use something that if you get Sharpie on it, that it will get ruined. That'd be a bad idea. Now for the base, for this base, I use this kind of thing where whatever you draw on one side, you draw the opposite way so that they're mirrored, and then that can be like a decorative bottom. This is like the look of wood. Of course, this could be any kind of base, and it could also be, patterned or designed. And if you want to keep it simple, you could just do this type of base where you make your line and then you come straight down and then close this up. This keeps it super simple and is still really pretty. For this, you're going to nest the ball down into the base like this, so you do not see all of the snow globe. And then wherever you have this edge, right, if you make this shape from there, then you're going to go the other way. And it's not that easy, kids, to be honest with you. I almost never get these right, to do it exactly the same. But who cares, right? You're just gonna have fun. So I think that's pretty close. And then I'll close these up with a curved line. Let's put it there. This should be lower. It should be there. So that should be there, to there, to there. Okay. Now it's time for me to go over some of these lines with the Sharpie. So I'm going to have to line this back up again, and I'll show you why. Right? You're going to go around it again this time. Try to get it lined up, but you don't want to go through here. So you want to start where the base was and come around to the base again. See? Then you want to follow this line instead. This one, this one, and here. Not the worst, not the best, not the worst. What do I do next? Erase. So let's get rid of these pencil lines. Okay, so now there's a couple things to remember with the snow globe. One, it is a sphere of glass. So it has a glass line visible. Let me show you on this again. That is the outer edge. So for this example, I left it light and then started the dark on the inside. There are other versions of drawing this where this is darker, and that's okay. But this is a nice way to kind of keep it simple and still have it look like it is made of glass, right? And then also, you have to think about whether or not your snow flecks are out and about, or if they have settled. In mine, they have settled. I didn't want to put individual little snow dots. If you have paint and, like say a Q-tip or something, and you want to dot paint on here, that could be so fun. But for mine, I was going to go for the smooth look of the glass and settled snow. So let's start with the snow. All right, it's going to come to the edge of the glass. And then I'm going to make the first line of snow. So this is the line that's like up against the glass, kind of wavy like that. And then whatever you want to put in here, right? It could be the Eiffel Tower, it could be a fox, it could be trees. It's your snow globe. If you want to do something like a pine tree, right? They keep them simple, and we can just bring a zigzag line down here. And then a zigzag line down here. And then we can put in some more of the snow. Okay, now it's time to start to color. For the tree, I can just make this tree green. If you were going to put snow on here, now would be the time to think about that and leave, excuse me, leave those areas, you know, whiter, lighter than the tree itself. But I am not going to do that right now. I'll fill this in. And then I'm going to think about my highlights. So let me show you this example again. The reason this looks round is the highlights are curved, right? They follow the shape of the sphere. So when you plan out where you're going to leave white, and I can do that with a crayon, I'm going to plan this out in a curve. So I'll put a curved highlight here. And a curved highlight here. Keep this color light because you're not committing to a heavy outline around it. Pencil would be good for this also. I just want you to see it really well. And then maybe a curved highlight here. Now I can color my background for starters with this light blue. I'm going to use the side to try to get it in a little quicker so that you're not sitting here watching me color forever. But then as I approach the edge, right, I want to make sure that I'm not going past this imaginary line. Because it's going to be the thin line of glass around the outside. So let me put this up to it so you can see it. I need more papers under here. It's nice to have something kind of thicker under your work when you're coloring, because otherwise you get essentially a rubbing or like an imprint of the texture of whatever's underneath your paper, which may be awesome, but may not be what you want. I did not go too dark in the center. I'm still using a really light layer of color. Now, hopefully you can see all this pretty well. And it's time for me to start to blend a little bit. So now I'm going to get a slightly darker blue. And I'm going to start at that outer edge and lightly blend in. So what I am doing is I am just using a slightly heavier pressure towards the outside, and then as I work my way in, my pressure gets lighter. Okay, not too bad. Now, I have a gray, right? And I can work some gray in through the darker areas. And then the snow that sits up against the glass is probably darker. It's not catching the light because it's angled down. So I can use this gray to separate that, and in doing so I can kind of isolate and identify this highlight, because otherwise it's just drawn on there with a blue outline, and that's not really what we're going for. Now, as for the base, you can really have a lot of fun with the base of this. Like I said, I went for a wood look, but you can put, you know, designs and patterns on there. You can make it be colorful, or, you know, you can keep it plain. You could put a plaque on it. It's really like, there's so many different kinds of snow globes out there, and they're all so like beautiful and interesting and cool. So it's really a fun way to add something unique to your snow globe. Just make it, you know, your own. But I hope you have a lot of fun with putting these highlights in and then drawing whatever you want inside. All right, kids, I hope this has been fun for you. I'll leave this one here for you to look at. All right, take care.